we'll be talking about new features. The first features which we have is hide or show weekend in date column, date or timeline column. Okay. So now I'm going to my monday.com screen. Okay. So I just have a project template here, which I must have used it in my last webinars. Just a typical, it can be any board, but I just took this because it was ready. So this about the new feature is about timeline column and the hide or timeline or a date column and the weekend. It's about the hiding the weekend, right? So now I have this timeline which is 10 to 16, right? But you can see it has also taken into consideration these Saturdays and Sunday, right? But let's say I want to hide it because of course we don't work on Saturday, Sunday. So then all I have to do as a project manager or as a board owner, I will go here and all I have to do is, so by default is enable, right? Because monday.com introduced this feature. So they have to use it by default, it's enable. They have to do that. And if you want to disable it, you can. So the moment I disable, so now date range including weekends will not be shifted. Please review previous date to ensure they meet your needs. Okay. So now I have done that. Let's check. Yeah. So now I have disabled. So now if I click here, so now you can see that these two days are hidden. So, and then this particular thing is overriding your admin. So I am sure all of you know that there is for admin, there is an ability to do that from here too, right? You know, hide, but let's say that, yeah, disable weekends. But let's say, so irrespective of this, even if this is enabled, because there can be some like a call center setting or somewhere, you know, a call center department, they work on Saturday, Sunday, or any service industry, they work on Saturday, Sunday too, right? So admin, so basically what they monday.com introduced is that you don't have to abide by this because this is account level. What they introduce now is that you can do this board wise. Earlier that was not possible. Once you do that account wise, you will have to do that, like it was like a universal, but now basically this one overrides your account setting. Okay, so my account setting, as you can see, it was show weekends, but now just for this board I have hide the weekends. Okay, so that was very helpful. As I said, many of the industries, they work on for example, the construction, right? So that happens irrespective of the weekdays, right? If there is a construction site, so then unnecessary, but then other departments, they didn't want to, like marketing department, office, right? So it's closed on weekends. So then it was like conflict. So as many of the clients reached out to monday.com, so that's why they introduced this board level hide weekend. You can, in the layman language, you can say that you can hide your weekends at the board level. And this is true for date 2. Okay, awesome. So going to next one, let me go to my, so the next one which I have is work form improvement. There are a couple of improvements I wanted to let you know. So let's go one by one. So the first one I have is, let me go to my board. Yes. So the first one which I have is, let me actually edit this form. Okay. So let's assume that, so I've just taken this event feedback board, which I used it in my past webinar. So it's true for any board which has a form, because it's a work form improvement, obviously. So let me edit the form and then show you all what is this about. So the feature which they introduced is for there many features. So I'll go one by one. So this is the single select option, right? So you can, how would you rate the location? So this is a single select. So basically it's a status column and you can only select one at a time. So if my form is also open here, how would you rate? So how would you rate? It's here. So how would you rate the location? Single select means at a time you can only select one option. Okay. So now I'm going back to my board. So in this one, actually, what they have done is sorry, this is not the board actually. Go back. Yeah, this one. Okay, so this is my question. So, and in the setting, if you can see, they have introduced this options order, and then you can use this option. So initially it is custom, but let's say that, because what happens is you build a board, right? And then you arrange your option. But let's say when you look at the board, look at the form, you want to arrange them alphabetically. So you have the capacity to do that now from the form itself. So you can arrange your options alphabetically. So right now it's love the location, could be better, and did not like it. But for some reason I want these alphabetically. Then it automatically arrange them in alphabetical order. You can see here they got arranged. So this will be more appropriate for, let's say, if you are asking some questions like a city, or what's your location, like which city or which country or something like that, and you want the data to be alphabetical, it's just a it's a better UI, right? If you see the options alphabetically. And right now there are like 4, right? But think about the options, like maybe 60 or 50, or I mean not 50, I'm exaggerating, but maybe 10 or 15, and then you need to actually read all. But if they are alphabetical, it's a better UI always, right? So then you can do this from the form itself, alphabetical or randomized. For some reason, if you just want randomized, you can do that right from here. Okay, so that was for single select. The next one which I have is multi select, meaning what is multi-select is, at a time you can select 2 options. Just go to the form and quickly show you. So how did you hear about this event? Is basically social media, pamphlet, right? That way. So more than one option. So now features which they introduce is, so you can limit the option of the selection, meaning, so there are 3 options, but for some reason I want to limit it to only 2, right? And I can do that from here. So when I'm setting the form, I will already say, like, limit the option selection for 2. For example, if you have one more, it will automatically show me 3 now. See? Okay. And now I want them to either, so I'm question setting. So now you can see I have the option of selecting either 3 or 2. And then so let's say I have only limited for 2 options. Okay, and now I'm going to my form. I'm refreshing it. So now you can see social media, pamphlet, but now I'm not able to select my third option. So this is a great feature, because when it comes to form, Monday.com, it's still adding more and more features, right? Because other platforms do have some more features. So Monday.com is being considered, and as and when the clients are reaching out, they are adding more and more. That and this was a great one, because sometimes you want to limit the options which they are which with the responder is submitting, right? So this will be very helpful. Thank you, Monday.com. And then if I, for some reason, I just want them to have 3, then the moment I change it here, now if you can see, I can add one more. I just need to refresh. And then if I try to do 4th one, I can't. Okay, so that was good. And then there's one more, which is, so let's say if you are halfway through your form, and then but for some reason you have to, you are not able to complete the form. So recently Monday.com added this save as draft feature. So the moment you do that, it creates a form link, and then once you copy and paste this link somewhere, it actually, and if you click it, basically if you paste it, it will open the same form again. So this is great, because this was most wanted feature actually requested by many of the end users, and Monday.com was able to add this. So definitely it will be of great help. Yeah, so that was work form improvements. Now next one which we have is workspace level permission for integration. So what is workspace level permission? So I'm going to go to my workspace. All of you know this is my new features or demo for webinars workspace. Now I'm going to the workspace. So now you all of you know that you have a workspace, and then you have the members, and then you have the owners, right? But sometimes, let's say particular, there's just a subscriber, and for them also, this Monday.com introduced, I think last year, that you can give some permissions to your members. So as a owner, definitely I'm a workspace owner, I have all the permissions, right? But as a owner, workspace owner, one with the crown, right? I'm the one with the crown. So that means I'm the owner. As a workspace owner, I can define what my workspace members can do, right? So these are by default, but definitely if I don't want them to create new boards in my workspace, I can just disable this, right? And then similarly, Monday.com added this one, which was very helpful: create integration. So they've added, you can see there is this downward arrow here. If you open it, all the apps come here. So now let's say that as a workspace owner, I don't want particular app to be added, or I can edit this. So by default, everything is enabled, right? Because this happens, the app installation happens at the account level. But for some reason, I don't want particular app to be used, or I want that particular app to be used, right? So I can edit this. Basically, if I disable it, then you cannot, so you see permission saved automatically, you cannot use this app. Okay, so you can restrict some of the apps, you can give permission to some of the members to use apps, and vice versa. So definitely this was helpful.